Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited, StratoLaunch is up for sale. The Canadian Air Force launches a pilot incentive program. And the FAA issues a NOTAM banning certain flights in the Middle East. Happy Monday and welcome to the show. I'm Sophie Herlock. The StratoLaunch aircraft developed to launch small payloads into space from a conventional runway is being put up for sale for $400 million by Vulcan, the holding company founded by the late Paul Allen. The airplane has only been flown once, and the sale price includes the airplane, intellectual property, and associated facilities. Last month, Reuters reported the company is in the process of closing down. StratoLaunch began downsizing during the first half of the year, and much of their workforce has been laid off, even with a contract to launch a small rocket for Northrop in 2020. There are reportedly several potential buyers for the airplane, including Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, and Sir Richard Branson, who said he'd only pay $1 for StratoLaunch. When we reached out to the company, neither StratoLaunch or Vulcan would comment on the proposed sale, stating the company remains operational and that they would provide an update when there's news to share. We'll be right back with Around the Patch after these messages.
There's a difference between charting a steady course and pushing for the ceiling. And for nearly a century, Hartzell Propeller has been defining that difference. It's in our passion for engineering and research and our dedication to testing the limits of performance. We are built on honor. We are Hartzell Propeller.
Today is a new dawn.
With a new name.
Un nuevo logotipo.
A new factory.
Und einen globalen Kundenfokus.
We are Continental Aerospace Technologies, and we stand behind you.
If you have any story suggestions for this, any of our other programming or website, send an email to news-spy@aero-news.net. We'd love to hear from you. Welcome back. Let's take a quick look at some of the interesting stories coming out of the aviation industry in today's trip around the patch. Regional aircraft leasing specialists NAC and ATR have signed a letter of intent for 35 firm ATR 600s, with options for a further 35 and purchase rights for another 35. Deliveries of the initial 35 aircraft will begin in 2020 through 2025. The delivery schedule is optimized to ensure market demand is best satisfied over the 5-year period. Back in March, Kopter transferred its third prototype aircraft and a team of 20 flight test engineers, pilots, and mechanics to Sicily to set up an additional flight test base in Pozzallo. Since that time, the flight test crew has performed 34 flights with P3, allowing the aircraft to reach around 100 flight test hours. The first major inspection was also carried out successfully in this time frame. One of the first licensed skydivers in America, Jack E. Swope, passed away at his home last Sunday at the age of 92. Swope was known for many feats, most famously as the Uncle Sam, who carried the world's largest skydiving USA flag attached to his leg during jumps. He and his wife Thelma enjoyed flying friends and family all over the country from an airport Swope built on his property in Cloverdale. The UK Royal Air Force Red Arrows demonstration team has added 2 Canadian stops to its North American tour. The first stop on the tour will be in Halifax from August 7th through the 11th, before heading to Quebec on August 13th. Other shows have been added to the end of the tour, including one in Vancouver on September 24th through the 27th, and September 28th through the 29th at the MCA's Miramar show in San Diego. We'll be right back after these messages.
Sandia introduces the new SAI 340 Quattro TSO'd airspeed, attitude, altitude, and slip. With integral backup battery, safety never looked so good. See it now at www.sandia.aero.
Build and fly with the most exciting line of kit aircraft on the market, the SONIX Aircraft B models. The B models offer more room and comfort, more fuel, more panel space, more engine choices, and the same great SONIX aircraft flight characteristics. Learn more at sonixaircraft.com.
Earlier this month, programs were launched to ensure the continuing health of the Royal Canadian Air Force and its ability to achieve mission success. The initiatives are vital in the face of an extraordinary level of global competition for the skills of pilots, technicians, aviation specialists, and support personnel. Commander of the Royal Canadian Air Force, Lieutenant General Al Meinzinger, sent the following message to the members of the RCAF. The Chief of Defense Staff recently launched Operation Experience, which directs the Canadian Armed Forces to implement immediate actions to stabilize and rapidly increase levels of pilot experience. These actions are nested with a broader RCAF campaign plan. Operation Talent focuses on the quality of life and quality of service of all our personnel and their families. It addresses in particular the intake, training, absorption, and employment of our members. The FAA has issued a NOTAM prohibiting certain flights in the overwater area of the Tehran Flight Information Region above the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman. All flight operations in the overwater area of the Tehran Flight Information Region above the Persian Gulf and the Gulf of Oman only are prohibited until further notice due to heightened military activities and increased political tensions in the region, which present an inadvertent risk to U.S. civil aviation operations and potential for miscalculation or misidentification. According to the NOTAM, the risk to U.S. civil aviation is demonstrated by the Iranian surface-to-air missile shoot down of a U.S. unmanned aircraft system on June 19th, while it was operating in the vicinity of civil air routes above the Gulf of Oman. In an emergency that requires immediate decision and action for the safety of the flight, the pilot in command of the aircraft may deviate from this NOTAM to the extent required by that emergency. That's it for us today. Don't forget to subscribe, and please check us out on Twitter and on Facebook. Head over to aero-news.net for the latest aviation aerospace news. Thanks for watching, and tune in tomorrow for an episode of Airborne-Unlimited.